Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for today's video. My name is Lena. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So let's talk about this beautiful Dior Cannage Eyeshadow Palette collection. So this is the second time we get this type of collection. Last year was the first time we had 4 eyeshadow queens in this beautiful Cannage motif limited edition packaging, and this time we get another 4 eyeshadow queens. So last year everybody loved the collection. It was very popular, but for some reason I was just okay with them and I only purchased 2, kept only 1, and nothing wrong with that collection. It was really nice formulation and it covered all the basic color stories. But this time I was immediately drawn into these new queens and I purchased 4 of them, and color stories look so beautiful to me. And I was trying to learn the words that were used for the eyeshadow names, and I found out this collection is all about lush, opulent, fancy fabrics. So this is another moment that couture makeup kind of shows that this has connection with their fashion side. And we have 4 colorways and these fancy fabrics like a Tulle and Moiré and also Lamé and also Brocart. It just so fascinating. So I was searching online and found respective images and made collages, and you will see these color stories actually represent these beautiful fabrics really wonderfully. So after learning about that, I became to like these eyeshadow palettes even more. And let me tell you, these are quite sparkly. The Lilac Tulle eyeshadow quint is probably the only one that is not as sparkly, but it's not without a sparkle shade, and that one has unusual kind of challenging or not a neutral color stories. So other 3 palettes are very sparkly, and if you don't like sparkly eyeshadows, it's probably not for you. But I personally love good sparkles, and these are so beautiful, so fun to work with. Initially, I was pretty ambitious with my content planning. I was going to do a review video separately, then move on to a look video, because I find each quint will give you at least 2 different looks. So I was thinking about that, but my work got super busy just all of a sudden. So I am trying to cover everything, but in this video you will see 4 complete looks. So I'm just hoping that these will give you some ideas about these eyeshadow palettes. Now let's talk about each eyeshadow palette in this collection. Let me talk about the lightest one first. So Rose Moiré is the lightest one, and this is probably the only quint that wouldn't give you a traditional smoky eyes. Other 3 will give you some version of smoky eyes because it all has a really good depth shade. This one doesn't have a deepest shade per se. It has the medium shade and very light variety of like sparkly shades. So pretty and very feminine, but it has more color presence compared to the most recent Dior spring makeup collection. So it does show up so much better on my eyes. If you like sparkly shade, if you like feminine, pinkish, purplish, mauvish, very neutral shades, I think this palette will be perfect for you. Next, let me talk about the Lilac Tulle eyeshadow quint. For some reason, I was most drawn into this color story. This is almost like Y2K kind of like, how do I use this palette kind of thing. It's not intuitive color story, but because of that unique reddish depth shade, it transforms the color. You can layer these colors and create more pinkish lilac and more like a purplish lilac. It's so gorgeous, and except for the center shade, these are all satin shade, and it just looks so pretty and fun and fresh. And I didn't find a good dupe from my Dior eyeshadow collection, but I thought a couple of shades look similar to Tom Ford Daydream Quad. So you will see the photograph that has both of these eyeshadow palettes, but it has really great clarity and nothing is patchy, and I have no issue working with this quint. It is quite unique in my crowded eyeshadow palettes, and it's just so fun to mixing these colors together, layering them together, and create different tones of the colors. I really enjoy working with this quint. It's bright, somewhat unusual colors to put in one palette, but it works out really well. It's very easy to control the color intensity. So if you want to introduce something unique and different to your eyeshadow collection, this palette would be perfect. The third palette is Brown Brocart, and I had very little expectation. It kind of looked boring on the website, but it surprised me, and it's a good surprise. I love good surprise. It's opulent, very lush and interesting brown eyeshadow palette. You would say, how interesting can it be? It has a really beautiful green tinge to it, and it's very rich with beautiful shimmers and good sparkles, and it also has very cool toned deep shade for that is essential for smoky eyes. It can also make a very beautiful holiday eye palette. It will give you really sparkly, sophisticated brown smoky eyes that will pair with red or berry lips very nicely. You can wear this eyeshadow palette with nude lips, of course, and I wouldn't say this is my favorite pick out of the four, but I feel like I'm gonna reach for this eye palette more often than other bright colors. So beautiful. The eyeshadow quality is really awesome, very creamy and pigmented, and I think you will enjoy this unusual brown eyeshadow palette. Last but not least, let's talk about the blue palette. It doesn't say it's blue Lamé, it's called a Midnight Lamé. It has a stunning, very bright blue shade and some variations of gray and charcoal gray and silver shade. But interestingly, it also has the elements of green. It has mint shimmers, and the other shade has some green, teal, gray element to it. It's really complex, bright, and gorgeous eyeshadow palette. I would still see it or categorize it as a blue eyeshadow palette. And a couple of you asked me if this palette is similar to the Chanel's Denim Collection eyeshadow quads. My answer, short answer, would be no. In my book, at least, they're quite different. They're different animals, because Chanel eyeshadow quads, they're more subdued in terms of finish, although they do have some sparkly shades in. That will give you some sort of like softer denim like fabric feel. This one is more like opulent, very over the top kind of like fabric feel. If you have seen Lamé fabric, that's really about costumes and stage dresses. It's really, right in your face, kind of very bright, rich fabric. And I think Dior did a wonderful job recreating that feel in the form of eyeshadow. So you will see that's quite different. And as I mentioned, having a green tinge to it, that will be the biggest difference in terms of the color. But this is gorgeous, very versatile. You can create green leaning look or a blue leaning look using one palette, and I love having this very deep charcoal gray depth shade, and it is great quality. When it comes to formulas and quality, I think I'm very happy. So these are consistent with the quality that we got last year in the Cannage collection. Quite creamy, pigmented, well blending, long lasting, and it's probably because they were manufactured at the same place. I'm just guessing, but they're both made in France and have the similar feels. But this time I think I like these eyeshadow palettes even better because I don't know, maybe because I like the color stories better and my mind is playing a trick on me, but these are working out really nicely for me. And since the Dior's eyeshadow reformulation, talc-free formulas, although I had no issues, no real issues per se, but also I haven't been excited about their eyeshadows for a while, and these excite me. I feel happy working with them and just, you know, eager to try different combination for different looks, and that is what I was looking for when I buy couture eyeshadow palettes, and these eyeshadow palettes completely satisfy that. So for that, I'm very happy. So now let's see some swatches. I'm gonna show everything all together at once, but for each demonstration, the makeup look, I will show the swatch separately for each palette. So that's next. Let's see some swatches, and after that, I will do my look demonstrations. I'm going to start with this pale opalescent pink shade. This is not as sparkly, so it works beautifully as a base shade and blending shade. And of course, if you want barely there kind of makeup, you can just use this as a one and done shade. Actually, this palette has a lot of one and done shades. I'm gonna use this rosy metallic taupe shade as the main, but I also see this color as a main shade, and I've tried this color. That will give you more grayed out purplish kind of look, but this one is slightly warmer, rosier kind of effect. So I'm gonna place this in the center. Now let's apply this matte shade on the inner corners and also on the outer corners. This won't give me that much depth, but it's really beautiful shade. It has a hint of rose. It's a brown shade, not too deep, but very beautiful, and the quality is amazing. Using a different brush, but same color. So you see this is still quite soft, but it gives me some definition. Now I'm going to line my lower lash lines. This is Chanel Waterproof Eyeliner number 10 Eben. Now I'm going to add this purplish gray color over that liner. You will see the purple shade coming out. But as I said, you can use this as a main shade and kind of change the tone. So in that sense, I think this squint is quite versatile as well. Now I'm gonna add some eyeliner on the upper lash lines and some mascara. I'll be right back. I am back. Lastly, I'm going to place this center shimmer shade on the inner corners to brighten up the whole look. For the blush, I chose something not as sparkly because the eye look is very sparkly. This is limited edition Dior blush Triomphe, and this just balances things out really nicely. This is more like a blurring effect more than the color itself. The lip color is Dior Addict Lipstick Diorella. This is cool toned rose with a little bit of purple undertone. And this is the finished makeup look. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let me move on and show you a different palette in action. Lilac Tulle Quint also seems to be a palette that has two main shades. This periwinkle kind of cornflower blue shade is one, and this pinky purple. So depending on which color you use more, it will just set the tone a little bit differently, but I like a little bit bluish kind of purple. So I'm gonna start with this color and apply this all over. So it's quite beautiful. I really like this color. You can build this up, but I'm using a very fluffy brush. I think around 2000, I was wearing something like this almost daily, but just one color, one and done in lip gloss. So I would say this color story is a little bit Y2K, very interesting and versatile. And I'm gonna place the center shade in the center of my lids. This is more like a muted lilac taupe sparkly shade, but it has some good base, so it looks really pretty in the center, brightening up. Now I'm gonna gently place this deepest color. I don't know how to describe this color. It's more like a maroon burgundy kind of shade, satin shade. It's quite pigmented, so I'm gonna be careful. But it creates really interesting color when you layer with this color or even that color. And I'm gonna layer this blue on top of that reddish shade. This is the Pearly Lilac Dior eyeliner shade. I'm going to apply this along the lower lash lines. This is a lighter color. I don't know how much it's gonna show up, but it kind of makes a connection with the eyeshadow colors. Dior eyeliners are long-lasting, but they're on the stiff side. Now I'm going to add this pinkish lilac shade along the lower lash lines, make it more lilac. Now I'm going to apply this lightest satin shade on the inner corners to brighten things up. This has a little bit of green tinge to it. Really interesting shade. But I'm not going to use too much. So I actually use either this one or that one as a brightening shade, but I'm just trying to show all colors in this look. Now I'm gonna add lots of mascara and some defining eyeliner. I'll be right back. This is a fairly light makeup to my standard, but I like to keep things light and sparkly. So on the cheeks, I'm just gonna apply this limited edition Luminizer. This is Lilac Mania from last year's spring collection. It's actually not as sparkly. It adds a little bit of lilac-y hue to the cheeks and some glow. So this is basically a blush color for me. On the lips, a Dior Maximizer shade number 011. I think the name is Frosted Opal, but if it's wrong, I will include everything in the description box. And this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. Let me show you the next palette. I'm gonna start with this teal gray cloudy blue. This is such a gorgeous complex shade. So I have used this as the main shade, and it looks like more like a green leaning kind of smoky eyes, but this also works as a great base. And I'm gonna apply this black shade on my mobile lids. And actually I'm going to use this blue shade as the accent or deepening shade. But this black shade is so nice, so it doesn't look patchy. So with the base, it creates really pretty deep bluish gray. So if you start with this color, it definitely looks black, depending on what you use on the base and the brush, type of brush, this is very wispy. So I can tell you all of these queens, most shades, they layer very nicely and creates different effects. So I have so much fun working with these. And this is another gorgeous shade. It has minty shimmer to it, so it's more like a topper shade, but I'm going to apply this on the inner corners. So do you see this mint shimmer? It's so pretty and unexpected. And now I'm going to use this blue shade on the outer corners. So this one is very pigmented and quite similar to one of those Dior's single eyeshadow colors. It also has some shimmers. Going back to this color, I'm gonna blend out. And I'm gonna deepen the outer corner by adding this black shade. So you can tell these colors layer extremely well. I'm gonna line my lower lash lines using this Chanel eyeliner number 44. This was limited edition. It's more like a grayish, bluish gray. Adding this gray shimmer shade along the lower lash lines. So this is definitely a full-on glam look, but I would just normally use 3 or 4 shades, creating different tones. And these Dior Quins definitely let us do that. And this is pretty much the eye look. I'm gonna add some eyeliner and mascara. I'll be right back. On the cheeks, I'm only gonna add some pale shimmers. So this is the Backstage Face Palette Frosted Opal Glow. So I'm going to mix this pink and this taupey beige color. But it barely gives any color. It's more like shimmers and sparkles. Mixing these 3 shades. This is a little chunky, so I'm gonna leave that out. Or maybe I should add this to the eyes. Very extra, but I like it. On the lips, I'm going to apply Lip Maximizer in the shade 091. This was one of the limited edition shade, Iris something. I'll find the name and include in the description box. Basing my eyelids using this really gorgeous peach satin shade. Now I'm going to layer this deepest cool brown shade on my mobile lids. This one is really pigmented. It blends out so beautifully. Now I'm going to add this center shade in the middle of my lids. This is a gorgeous duochrome shade, a brown base with green shift. Very beautiful. Now using this khaki shade, I'm going to layer this on the inner corners. Revisiting this deep brown shade, I'm going to deepen the outer corners. Blending again using this peach satin shade. Chanel Espresso liner for the lower lash lines. And I'm going to add this brightest color along my lower lash lines, also a little bit on the inner corners. Now I'm gonna finish the eye look by adding some eyeliner and mascara. I'll be right back. So this is one of those rich brown eye makeup that would pair really nicely with red lips, and I think this would look amazing for a holiday look as well. But today it's all about eye looks and eye palettes, so I want to keep other things light and simple. So I'm going to wear one of those Dior's classic shades. So this is Dansant. I have the old formula, also the lipstick in the old formula. This is very beautiful peach nude color and probably prettier than nude look blush color. I really love this color. I have the same shade of lipstick, and initially it looks like quite pale, almost like a concealer lips, but it will warm up, and this is also very beautiful beige lip color. I'm going to pair with one of the Dior's lip liner shades. And this is Dior Beige Tulle Lip Liner. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these makeup demos and my review on these beautiful Cannage eyeshadow palettes. As you can tell, I really like them. I enjoy working with them. I like the colors and the finishes. But do let me know what you think about these eye palettes. If you have picked up anything from this collection, I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video and spending your time with me. As always, I really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you can. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.